Assalamu alaikum and hi everyone, how are you guys? So today we are going to start lesson 7, which is dividing fractions. And thank you very much guys for watching and learning here. You guys are amazing, yeah, and you're the best. Let's begin. Okay, so in dividing fraction the rule is simple, which is keep one thing in mind, that we cannot divide fraction, that's all. Now if we have a question and we have to divide fractions, how can we solve it, since we know that we cannot divide fraction? So for that there is a simple thing we need to follow, that is we have to convert this division sign into multiplication sign. So let me first write it 10 over 8. Now now change this division sign into the multiplication sign, but there is also a condition. Once we are going to change this division sign into multiplication, we have to change the positions of the second fraction. We have to switch the positions of the second fraction upside down. So see, over here denominator is 6 is in at the bottom, so move it at the top. 1 is at the top, move it at the bottom. So 1 over 6 will become 6 over 1, right? So we have successfully converted this division sign into multiplication. Now they are no longer dividing the fractions, now they are multiplying. So we have already done how to multiply the fractions, so simply we just need to see if they can be simplified or not, and then we can multiply, right? So yes, these two fractions can be simplified. So this is a fraction 10 over 8. Yes, they can be simplified on a times table of 2. So this will give me 4 and this will give me 5. 5 times 2 is 10 and 4 times 2 is 8. So I simplified it on the times table of 2, right? Now write the new fraction as it is down, which is 5 over 4 times 6 over 1. Okay, now again check whether we can further simplify it or not. We have to keep on checking unless it cannot be simplified further. Now let's go for the possibilities, check all the 4 possibilities. So this is a fraction, can be simplified? No. This is making a fraction, can it be simplified? Nah. Okay, now look for the diagonals. So this is the numerator and this is the denominator, can this be simplified? Nah. And we have the last possibility, which is this is the denominator, this is the numerator, making a fraction, can be simplified? Yes, on a times table of 2. So go for it. So this will give me 2 times 2 is 4 and this will give me 3 times 2 is 6. Now write down the new fractions at the bottom. So this will give me 5 over 2 times 3 over 1, right? Okay, now check, can this further be simplified or not? So this cannot be simplified further, right? If you check for all the 4 possibilities, this cannot be simplified. Then the next step is simply multiply numerators with numerators and denominators with denominators. So our final answer will become what? So 5 times 3 is 15 and 2 times 1 is 2. So this is our final answer, or you can convert it into the mixed fraction. So in that case we are getting the answer 7 whole 1 over 2. So this is our final answer. So this is how we divide the fractions, right? Now solve the next 2 questions on your own and then come back to resume it. Okay, so this is 14 divided by 7 over 8. What is the number at the bottom if there is no number shown to you below 14? That is 1. So it's 14 over 1. So first I need to convert this division sign into the multiplication sign, since we know that we cannot directly divide the fractions, right? Got it? So now for the condition for changing this sign, we have to also switch or flip the positions of the second fraction upside down. So 7 over 8 will become 8 over 7. So this is very important. Never forget this thing. Mostly students forget to switch the positions of the second fraction and they solve the questions incorrect. They get the wrong answers. So now let's see if they can be simplified or not. So yes, we can simplify this fraction. So look for the possibility. So first possibility, this cannot be simplified. Second, this cannot be simplified. Third, yes. So this 14 and 7. So 2 times 7 is 14 and 1 times 7 is 7. So I simplified it on a times table of 7. So write the new fractions as it is down. Let's keep this color. So this is 2 over 1 and times it 8 over 1. So now can this be further simplified or not? No, this cannot be simplified. So simply multiply these fractions, numerators with numerators and denominators with denominators. So 2 times 8 is 16 and 1 times 1 is 1, or simple 16. So both are the correct representations of writing your answer. This is our final answer. Bingo, we are done. That's nice. Next, moving on to the third question. Okay, let's move back to the pink. So convert it into the standard form of a fraction. This is mixed, non-standard. We cannot apply any of the operators when we are having non-standard form of fractions, which is the mixed fraction, right? So convert it. So we are getting 3 times 7 is 21 plus 6, 27. So 27 upon 7 divided by 6 and then again divided by 3 over 2. Sometimes it's very difficult to write it using a mouse. Okay, now in this case we are getting 3 fractions at the same time. Again, I would recommend you to solve first 2 fractions, reduce it, solve these 2 first questions, fractions, and then move on to the third one, right? Okay, so what is the number below if there is no number shown to you? So this is 1. So now simply solve this one. So 27 over 7, change the sign from division to multiplication and switch the positions of the second fraction from 6 over 1 to 1 over 6, right? Okay, and don't forget to shift down the third fraction, which is 3 over 2. Don't be so lazy, always shift it down, because once we are done with the first 2 fractions we forget, oh, we also have a third fraction as well, and we leave our answer there and we definitely lose marks, right? So now solve, multiply. First check, can this be simplified or not? No, this cannot be simplified. We are solving these 2 fractions. Okay, so this cannot be simplified. So simply multiply. 27 times 1 is 27 and 7 times 6 is 42. Now shift down the second fraction as it is down, which is 3 over 2, or you can solve it directly from here. So change this division sign into multiplication and flip the positions of the second fraction. From 3 over 2 it will become 2 over 3, right? Now check, go for simplification first. Can this be simplified? Yes, this can be simplified. The diagonals, 1 fraction. So this is the denominator, this is numerator. So this can be simplified on a times table of 2. 1 times 2 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4 and 1 times 2 is 2. So 21 times 2 is 42, right? Okay, and the other diagonal can be simplified on a times table of 3. 1 times 3 is 3 and 9 times 3 is 27. Okie dokie. Now simply multiply these fractions, but first check, can this be further simplified? Yes, this can be simplified. We'll see. This can be simplified on a times table of 3, right? So this is giving me 3 times 3 is 9 and 7 times 3 is 21, and write the second fraction as it is. Now this cannot be further simplified, or now simply multiply the numerator's value and denominator's value. So 3 times 1 is 3 and 7 times 1 is 7. So this is our final answer. Okay, next question. So this will be our last question. So convert it back into the standard forms. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 plus 4 is 32 upon 7, And now do not directly change the sign, because first convert it into the standard form. Okay, because we are having a whole number, this is a mixed type of a fraction. So 2 times 7 is 14, plus 4 is 18 upon 7. Now we can change the sign of division into multiplication. I wish I could write it using a pen on a piece of paper rather than solving questions on the electronic board. So this is, I have successfully changed this division sign into multiplication and switch the positions of the second fraction, so it becomes 7 over 18. Now check it can be simplified or not. Yes, it can be simplified. So let's change the color. So the diagonal is one triangle, so these two numbers can be simplified on the times table of 7. 1 times 7 is 7 and 1 times 7 is 7. And the other diagonal can be simplified. Why I choosing diagonal? Because this 32 at the top making a numerator, this 18 at the bottom making a denominator, and we know this thing that numerator divided by numerator over denominator will give you what thing? This will give you always a fraction. And we know this thing that we can only simplify if it is making a fraction. Okay, so yes, this can be simplified on the times table of 2. Okay, go for it. So this will give us 16 times 2 is 32 and 9 times 2 is 18. So can this further be simplified? Nah. Okay, so let's just multiply. Okay, let me first write the new equation. 16 over 1 times 1 upon 9. Now simply multiply numerators with each other numerator with numerator value and denominator value with denominator. So 16 times 1 is 16 and 1 times 9 is 9. So this cannot be further simplified. Leave your answer up till here or convert it into the mixed fraction. So this will give you 1 whole 7 upon 9. So this is our final answer. We are done. Excellent. That's nice. So I hope you have got the concept. So we have just solved 4 sample questions in how to divide fractions. So you can practice plenty of more questions using your textbook, your school book, or from the internet sources. So here comes to an end of our today's session. Stay blessed, be happy, keep smiling, and thank you once again guys for watching and learning here. Keep learning and stay safe out there. See you after.
Barrel waiting for the